All right, everyone, let's get caught up on USC football. We've got Matt Lowry on the line from Conquest Chronicles on SB Nation, and always encourage you to jump on over there to get the latest on USC athletics. Matt, how are we doing these days?
We're managing over here. It's been tough with the coronavirus going on. You know, everybody's quarantined. Not much is happening, but I mean, everyone's making the best of it. Everyone is staying safe, so everything's going good. How about on your end?
We're doing fine right here. Certainly, what we know of California, it could have been really bad, but the state locked it down, tightened up, and the numbers seem to be pretty encouraging out there, I know.
Yes, it does.
JT Daniels has made a decision to leave USC. Certainly, he appeared to be the future of the program and started quite a few games over 2 seasons. But with his injury and Keaton Slovis taking over and posting a 30-plus touchdown season, JT Daniels saw the writing on the wall and has opted to transfer.
Yes, he yesterday he entered the transfer portal, which I believe it was shocking news to everybody. It was a shock to everybody because no one expected him to transfer. But there are a few things that played into into the decision to him enter the transfer portal. Now, one of the reasons is that the NCAA is expected to vote on a one-time transfer rule, which is a new rule that allows for transfers if you're transferring that one time. So if this is the first time you're entering the transfer portal, then you're going to be immediately eligible to play right away. So that's the vote that's expected to happen here in May. And if that goes through, then a lot of people or a lot of players who are transferring are going to end up being eligible to play this upcoming season, assuming we have an upcoming season. So that played a huge factor into it. On top of, as I just mentioned, with COVID-19 being a thing right now, nobody knows if we're going to have a season or not, or if it's going to be an abbreviated season. So a lot of things are going into works here. Now, in his statement, he did say USC. He did say USC is an option. It's still an option. So a lot of people are wondering, if this doesn't go through, is he going to return to USC and then play out the rest of the season and then transfer to next year, where he'll graduate early and he'll be able to play right away with no penalty? Or is he still going to look into transferring and sit out a year and then be ready for, the next season where he'll be eligible to play? So a lot of moving parts that's still going on with this, but I think he put his name in the portal just to see what options are out there from what I've been gathering.
Some powerhouse programs have lost starting quarterbacks, as is the case each and every year. I know that in looking at several sites that are speculating about his interest, Michigan and LSU have been mentioned, Washington right there in the Pac-12, Tennessee as well. So we will see how that plays out and whether, in fact, he does decide just to come on back to USC. JT Daniels, of course, the starting quarterback for close to 2 seasons at USC. Made it through that 5-win season in 2018 before starting in 2019, getting hurt, and Keaton Slovis again takes the reins and throws 30 touchdowns. So it appears as though JT Daniels is out of a starting job as it stands right now. We'll see where he lands and what kind of season we do have. On the recruiting front, USC picked up a commitment coming off a down cycle in 2020. So this comes out of, let's see, this kid's out of Los Angeles, a 4-star athlete in Anthony Beavers. What else do we know about him?
Oh, he's a 4-star defensive back. Again, had USC in his top, as one of his top choices. The thing with him was that a lot of people were wondering, and a lot of people were still speculating on if he would come to USC based off of what happened the last 2 seasons with USC's recruiting. But a lot of momentum, a lot of good momentum has been coming forward with this recruiting class, and that it's leading to guys like Anthony Beaver to commit. But again, 4-star corner, he has a tremendous upside. And I think he's one of those players who could see some good rotation time, some good playing time come next season, or not next season, but by the time he arrives on campus. Now, it's a verbal commit right now, so we've seen how these played out, but how the way it sounds and how the way it looks, it doesn't look like he's going to be budging from his commitment anytime soon.
Talking USC football, we got Matt Lowry on the line from Conquest Chronicles on SB Nation. JT Daniels in the transfer portal. As we mentioned, we've got a commitment for 2021. Do we have anybody else that seems to be nearing a decision, or anybody else that USC's in the mix on that might come into the fold in the next several weeks?
Well, as far as we know of right now, as far as what we know of, there's not much out there right now as far as with 2021 players who are, as far as them committing right now. I know there's a lot of guys who are being offered right now, and as I'm looking down my list right now, I know somebody was supposed to be committing today. Not 100% sure who it would be, but
we can let that go.
Okay.
Mark Rogers TV, the voice of college football, breaking down USC. We got Matt Lowry on the line from Conquest Chronicles, talking NFL draft, April 23rd, 4th, and 5th. Michael Pittman, stellar season in his final campaign at USC, 101 catches, 11 touchdowns. Certainly a favorite target of Keaton Slovis, as he tossed 30 touchdowns. What do the NFL draft experts and analysts have to say about Michael Pittman?
Well, it's a lot of positive coming out about Michael Pittman. A lot of people are seeing a huge upside with Pittman the last few days, and it's been just, I wouldn't say the last few days, but the last few weeks leading up to this. Recently, a lot of teams have been high on Pittman. He's been working his way up. Recently, so I believe someone put out there that he could be another Michael Thomas. We all see how Michael Thomas is producing right now for the New Orleans Saints. So somebody even mentioned that he has that type of upside. And we've seen what Pittman's been able to do the last 2 seasons at USC. We've seen what he's been able to do last season. Being one of the better and one of the more consistent receivers for this USC team. And his measurables are outstanding for a wide receiver, and we all know what he's been able to bring for teams. So he's been creating a lot of momentum. He's being called the steal of this draft. We all saw what happened with Juju Smith-Schuster when he got drafted. I believe he went 2nd round in the NFL draft, and you've seen the type of production that he's been able to provide for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think Pittman can provide that same type of production for an NFL team.
The NFL Draft Bible has this breakdown on Michael Pittman. Ideal size and strength enables him to get off the line of scrimmage clearly. Smooth route runner, tremendous yards after the catch ability, smart player, willing blocker. Also shows the innate ability to go up and fight for the ball in traffic. Wins a lot of 50-50 jump balls. Deep threat due to his acceleration. Loves to run the fade. Coaches have noted an added sense of maturity about Pittman this past season. Special team sensation as a freshman. 7 tackles on coverage. Forced a fumble. Blocked a punt. Returned punts and kicks. Some durability concerns that the NFL teams will be wary of. Battled an ankle injury for the majority of 2018. Also had a broken collarbone in high school. His foot flared up at the Senior Bowl practices, so forth and so on. So Michael Pittman seems to be the complete package, aside from maybe some injury issues, and his durability in play right there. Austin Jackson would appear to be the other notable draft selection. There's a number of other guys like Michael Rector that we don't anticipate being like a 30th or 40th rated linebacker that he's even going to get drafted. But Austin Jackson should be a draft selection for sure. Your thoughts about his transition to the NFL?
Well, he's another guy that's been getting a lot of momentum too. I've seen a couple of mock drafts where they have him being drafted late in the first round, maybe early to mid second round. So it's kind of right here right now. I think the the performance that he had in the Holiday Bowl didn't really do him any favors when he was going against AJ Espenza and struggled with him, with the defensive end who's projected to go in the mid first round as well. But not Pittman, but Austin Jackson, it looks like we're going to be seeing him probably somewhere around that late first round. That's where a lot of mock drafts have him right now. That's where a few mock drafts have him right now, is in that late first round, maybe early second round, as a left tackle. Maybe a day one start, maybe a day one starter. Who knows? He could possibly be a starter going into camp. But he has a high projection right now if you look at most mock drafts. So that's where we could see him. He's been getting a lot of momentum as well this season.
According to NFL Draft Bible, on Austin Jackson, started all 13 games at left tackle in 2018 and 19. First team All Pac-12. Long, wide, athletic frame, prototypical size. Has gained over 50 pounds since arriving to USC. Still has room to grow. Strong hands, excellent placement, great bend. He can overextend himself at times, and he gets caught out of place. A 2-year starter who played special teams as a freshman, NFL bloodlines, surgical procedure during the summer of 2019 to donate bone marrow to his sister Autumn, who suffers from anemia. Combination of size, athleticism, upside could make him a top 50 overall selection. Austin Jackson. So good news for USC fans. You're not losing 8 or 10 players to the NFL draft this year. The good and the bad there is that the production has not been what you would expect it to be at USC over the last couple of years, but the benefit is most of your best players are still on campus, still on the roster, and will suit up, as Matt says, hopefully if we have a 2020 college football season.
Yeah, we're hoping for that.
Matt, we appreciate you stopping by, breaking down everything, including JT Daniels, the one commitment from last week, and, of course, Austin Jackson and Michael Pittman's selection at the NFL draft.
Thank you for having me. It's always a joy to be on.